Hello, it is Mary Ann Mocha. So, there's going to be a disclaimer in this video. I started recording it and I realized that I didn't put a disclaimer. So, in this video, it is a educational, and basically, since I do tell you guys what's going on with the lizards, and I try to do update videos on them. It's been a while, but I keep saying I need to. This is a update video that I did not want to make. Basically, I can't even think of the word right now. The disclaimer, or whatever it's called, in this video is I am going to be talking about something that I don't know the correct word to use, as I don't want this video flagged for wrong words. Disclaimer is I am going to talk about how something passed away. And I would say this is educational, because if you do decide to get a veiled chameleon, I'm not going to show a picture of him. If you saw my post, you would have saw that I did post after it happened that he passed away. I do always put in my community tab. I try to put something in the community tab every day, like just have a good weekend, or have a good week. So the date of recording this is April 28th, 2024. Like I've told you in the past, I always try to record as many videos as I can, just in case something happens or I can't record videos for some reason. By the time you watch this, it will still be hard, but not as hard as it is today as recording it. So, the reason I say the date is when I go back and look at this, I can know the date that I know from now on that I'm always going to be upset. And it's not because I'm upset because something's gone on and it's not going in my favor. But meaning I'm going to be sad because what I'm going to be talking about. So, last night, April 27th, I thought it was going to be a normal night. I didn't get much sleep last night. So if I yawn, that's the reason. If I sound down, I was thinking about making this video after it sank in for a while. But I don't know when that's going to be, because with Yellowbird, when he passed, I didn't do nothing for a week. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to leave the house. Yeah, I only had Yellowbird at the time. But I know with having Little Dude, Bob, and Snow plus Mocha, I know I have to get up and do things, try to make my life as the same routine. So I know it's 7 minutes and I still haven't got into the story. What are you growling at? So, on last night, about 10 o'clock, I was getting tired from the pills I take to help me sleep. If you watched my last video, you would have saw that I was talking about what to do if you have a chameleon and it's dehydrated. I know I'm gonna be quiet on this video, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to think of the words as I'm trying to talk, and I don't know how to put the words into a YouTube friendly just so the video don't get taken down because of the content. So I've been dealing with that for about 2 days now, where I would take Zoomie, sit in the shower for an hour to 3 hours so he can get rehydrated. When that happened, I was gonna do the video with him, and I was like, no, let me keep him in his cage and I'll just go check on him. I at least gave him an extra day. So at 10 o'clock last night, I went into the room and he was being silly. His tail was on one of the top perches, and he was holding on to the vines underneath him, and he was just hanging there like, you guys caught me. I grabbed him and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take him before I put him to bed, turn off his light and put him to bed. I'll take him to the shower and let him get rehydrated. Yesterday I did it 3 times. I did it in the morning when I first got up. I went outside and I put him in the shower for a little bit and took him outside so he could get some sun. I didn't think that was going to be his last time going outside to get sun. So I was sitting in the shower with him. And normally his body warms up from the warm water I put on him. The whole time his body stayed cold. And it started getting colder. I was in the shower with him for 45 minutes at this time. He started acting like he was gonna throw up, because in the morning he did throw up. He threw up undigested food plus excrements, meaning bathroom waste. Everything I did yesterday, I didn't know it was going to be the last. So, about 10:45, he started doing that. And I kept my fingers on him the whole time to see if he was breathing. He kept gasping for air. turning dark. He started turning dark. When he's cold, he gets dark, and then he lights it up as the day goes on. Or even outside, when he's trying to get the heat, he turns dark so the light, he can get the heat from the sun. He started turning dark. He didn't open his eyes. I could tell it was almost his time. His body went limp. All he was doing was laying on his side. And like I said, I've had my fingers on him so I could tell if he was breathing. His breath started getting very shallow. So I went into the bedroom and I sat there and I held him, keeping one finger where I found his heartbeat and my other fingers on his chest to see if he was breathing. About 11 something, he passed away. So now, when I talk about the lizards, it's only Bob Snow and Little Dude. When I was researching about reptiles, I saw that veiled chameleons has the shortest lifespan of all chameleons. They only live 3 to 5 years. When I did that video about talking about what you should do to help your chameleon if he or she is dehydrated, I knew in my mind that his time was close. Because when I woke up yesterday and I saw his eyes, they started sinking back in. If I didn't hear the thud and wake up and run to the bathroom to try to get him rehydrated, he would have probably passed away without me holding him and Moko being right there. I still have his cage up. I did take the lights and moved them to Bob and little dude's enclosures. But it's so hard to know he's not gonna be with here for videos or just the daily stuff I do with him. Last year, when it was cool enough, not too hot, not too cold, I would take him outside with me. I was going to get an enclosure, and I was going to do a video about it that I was going to put on the end of the bed, end of the desk, so he could be in here and I could watch him and see what he does and how he is throughout the day. But so my roommate was trying, I showed the enclosure, and I had $14 in POW points, and there was I think 20% discount if you bought it online. It was just the Oxygon enclosure that I was gonna get. But for some reason, after he passed away, tried about 4 times buying the enclosure, and each time it came back saying, "We're sorry, something went wrong with your order." Called the bank. The bank said, "We approved it, but on the end of PetSmart, they didn't put a dollar amount." Then we called PetSmart. And one of the person that answered the phone, he tried it twice. Said, "I'm sorry." It said the same thing. "I'm sorry, something went wrong with the order." So we talked to a manager. Same thing happened. "Sorry, there went something wrong with the order." From all of that, I found it was weird. I was like, why is it not going through? That was a sign that by the time I got it and set it up, I wouldn't have had Zoomie. To put in it. Please don't comment. Why did you do this video? It's part of my life. I'm going to record most part good, bad, and the ugly part of my life. Yes. Like I was saying, a veiled chameleon only lasts 3 to 5, the most 7 years. But they're so finicky, you don't know when they're gonna pass away. With Yellowbird, I might do a video talking about how I got Yellowbird, because if you see, every so often you'd see that tattoo. I don't know if I did do a video about him, but most of the time when I'm not looking for a pet, because the day I went into PetSmart, I wasn't going in there to look for a pet. I got excited because I just got Bob, and I got Little Dude, and I was still so looking at the other lizards, see what they had, and because I do go, and if I go in, I'm feeling like I can go in. I go look at the lizards, see what they have, go and look at the enclosures, and because I do want to upgrade whenever I can. Upgrade Bob and Snow's enclosure and get them a bigger enclosure. And I like looking at the decorations and just the lights to see if there's anything new. Not necessarily to put in the closure, but see if they got new stuff. And the day that I got Zoomie, they had him in a very little enclosure. And I thought it was odd because when you go to PetSmart, they have juvenile chameleons or hatchlings. They don't have full grown 3 to 4 inches already chameleons. it was a day where we were getting mocha treats, and I still had the half moon enclosure, which technically it was a fish tank that they had on clearance. And I saw him. I was like, that's a really big chameleon. I know I've done a story time on how I got him. I was like, that's a big chameleon. I showed my roommate, Zoomie, and I was like, look at him. He's big. It's weird seeing a big chameleon in the cage. We were going back and forth. And then we finally got him. To find out, a couple days after got him set up in his enclosure and got everything done for him, my roommate was talking to the guys that we normally talk to when we go to PetSmart. And they were like, yeah, he was given to us. I can't think of the word. Surrendered to us because the person that had him said he was grumpy and he tried to bite him all the time when he tried to get him out of the enclosure. Which I could see that, because when I first got him, he did bite me or try to bite me. He was not a happy boy. But he got to the point where I could get him out of the enclosure without worrying about him trying to bite me or anything. The only time he did, but every time he bit me, it was when I took him outside to get sun. And I knew he was scared and not happy because he was outside. But with him, it was another pet that I didn't intend to get. But I picked him up, cared for him, and loved him. Gave him what he needed. I just wish he was around longer. Because all the good times that I had with him outweighs the ones he bit me and he was unhappy. I always giggled because one of the things we did yesterday before taking him and putting him back in his enclosure was I got him and held him over here. I put him on top of my monitor so I can see him, and he walked halfway. He was almost where he wasn't going anywhere. So I grabbed him and put him down here by my light. And he started climbing the cord, the plug-in cord. And he was looking at the monitor like he was watching what I had on YouTube. It's either YouTube or one of the other streaming services. And then went and put him back in the enclosure. Then I was like, okay, let me go outside to finish up the yard, the one side of the yard. He was fine while doing all that. He looked fine. I'll end this video here. What I'm going to say, I might say this every time I end a video now. Life is short. Go out and enjoy it. Go make memories. You never know when it's going to be your time or your loved one's time. Call a family member that you haven't talked to in a while. I'm not going to say all that, but go make a stranger's day. Life is too short to be on electronics all the time. You never know when it's gonna be the last time you say I love you to someone or something you love. Try to have a wonderful day whenever